So we're all gassed up and breakfast up. We're headed to Cali, something I thought I'd never do again. But there's a good reason. We're gonna go see Francisco's 4.2 i6 Atlas swapped, I believe, single cab, Colorado. So let's go check that out, and I want to take you guys along to show you the process, because that's the swap that I want to do in my single cab shop truck. All right, we just got to Francisco's shop. Let's go take a look at the truck. This is the first truck he bought. That's been 3.7 swap. That's not what this video is about. Hey, Francisco, what you doing? Hey, that's not a 5-cylinder. What's in there, dude?
This is a 5+1.
5+1?
5+1.
He's not actually that short in real life. I'm just really freaking tall, and the camera's like way above me. But
I am
this is Francisco. We've been talking online and buddies for a little while. He has a single cab Colorado, actually a Canyon technically, that he's, I think, the first one officially.
Yes.
To put a 6-cylinder i6 4.2 Trailblazer motor into his truck, his Colorado Canyon chassis. And I just want to share it with you guys because that's one of my ideas for the red shop truck that I've got. I want to put the 4.2, potentially turbo it, and I don't know, I've got a stupid idea to body swap it later on, but I don't, that's for another 1,000 videos down the road. So I just want to show with you guys what he's done to the truck, and just a real quick Cliff Notes version of what it took to get him to this point, and figured you guys would be interested in seeing that.
My goal on this motor was to bolt it in, to not only figure out how to fit this motor in, but to repeat it. I actually wanted to share this with everybody else, thinking, hey, shouldn't this Colorado had another cylinder? Shouldn't it have been a 6-cylinder? What I came up with after 3 different motor mounts was eventually these beefy, repeatable, factory looking, heavy duty, you'll only need them once in a lifetime kind of motor mount. So that's the main thing. This thing will bolt that in there and you're on your way. So now that the motor mount's located, transmission stock location, we had to address the front of the motor, which would have been the cooling system. It's quite surprisingly easy to adapt. 4 inches closer, so now this upper hose had to be shortened. Well, the coolant outlet pipe was shortened 4 inches, which is exactly as much as you can shorten it without having to worry about anything. Lower radiator hoses are both donors. You just tee them together, make them fit that way so you got the right angles. Front's done because the alternator, the power steering, and the fuel system all bolt in and plug in. The AC, which is not on here yet, does need a little bit of welding, old fittings of the hoses, and boom boom, make that work. And it fits in here. Now you got to worry about the exhaust. The stock Trailblazer cat pipe bolts right in. Fits right on there. Clears the firewall, doesn't hang below the frame, almost like it was meant to be. And you only adapt maybe about 1 foot on this standard cab to the catback exhaust from the Colorado. Many parts are reused from the Colorado or the donor vehicle, including the wiring harness, 5-cylinder wiring harness. Needed 1 coil, needed 1 injector, and 1 knock sensor. Bam, now that's done. ECU, stock vehicle ECU, so it communicates with the BCM very well. You just get the right motor that matches that, you're good.
So there's one more pretty important fitment piece that makes this motor bolt in. We're gonna have to jack the truck up on the 2-post to show you guys the bottom side of that.
This is a big portion that people want to know about. Front sump motor, rear sump chassis. That's going to be most vehicles. They're going to swap this, and same thing with the Colorado. This is an M-Tech pan that has been modified. Basically a rear sump like the factory motors on these, the 4 and 5 cylinders. So it clears, if you look, it fits in the spot. This is the stock transmission location, transmission mount. There's 2 cross members, one's on both, and I didn't put it back in because this sump just a little bit doesn't clear, but there is plenty of room to have a rear sump modified pan from the 5-cylinder, or a custom pan, or these M-Tech pans. Anything rear sump that you make is going to fit this chassis. So this one's 5. This was the 5-quart pan that I kicked out, so it's now about an 8-quart pan. This is the inline 6 likes oil. It needs plenty of oil. So
that's why your 5 cylinders blow up, because they run out of it. So we don't want to do that to this.
Bingo. I put 2 straight through mufflers, trying not to deal with drone, but these are both straight through Borla and then kind of MagnaFlow style. And the 3-inch exits out the factory location. 4-wheel drive, rear sump Colorado. Sump is further back here than front than the 2-wheel drive. And it's also a little deeper, but still rear sumping against the transmission flange there. Front sump pan, 6-cylinder, all the way up here, only one available. This is exactly where your rack and pinion is on the Colorado. Major surgery, yeah. You can make this pan work. You can even make it 4-wheel drive if you want, but you'd have major surgery. It would no longer be a bolt-in setup. And then so to get rid of this, you bolt on another pan. So a lot easier to solve it that way. We got this special trick here.
Details. That sounds better.
That real oil pressure.
Spools quick.
It's snappy.
Well, I thought it only fitting to finish this video in front of the shop truck, but mostly because I shot the entire outro with Francisco in slow motion. Initially, this truck was for Patrick to run around in while we waited for a vehicle to pop up on Marketplace that was better suited to his needs. So we did get the wheelchair lift put in, rebuilt the motor, we did some interior work to it, and it's a runner. It's a great little truck. We've done some videos on the bumper and the lights. I got a lift kit coming for it. But we found another truck for Patrick. I swear my neighbors love me. This is a 2008 Chevy Colorado with 71,000 miles on it. This truck is 4-wheel drive, whereas the shop truck is not. We just got like a foot of snow a week ago. I know you guys can't tell with all the lovely t-shirt weather we're dealing with right now, but this is a much better truck for Patrick. Interior's jacked. It's a clean little work truck, 72,000 miles, 4-wheel drive, 5-cylinder. It's gonna be perfect for him. So we need to rebuild the motor and get this to a running condition for him. So what's gonna come with the shop truck? Basically, this will be a 4.2 liter swap, but we're gonna have to take a couple steps before we get to that point. I have to rebuild the 4-cylinder motor in this because I didn't catch a egged out conrod when we were putting it back together after I replaced the crank. So we should have just fully torn the thing apart and done it properly. I didn't, and now I'm paying for it by having to do it twice. So I've got a couple of motors that I'm rebuilding for you guys, and I have to slide that 4-banger in between all the process. So that sucks, but at least when it's all built and ready to go, we can run it for a little while we wait and build the 4.2 that'll eventually live in that engine bay. As you can see, I have way too many cars. We're trying to get rid of Patrick's other 2 cars. Those will be for sale here shortly. I got to get rid of the Rodeo, and we need to start tearing down the Yukon for putting the motor in the Badlander. So if you guys would subscribe to the channel for more crazy shenanigans that I've got going on in my life, and other products and review videos that I've got coming up in the near future. I've got a lot of really cool stuff planned for 2024, and I can't wait to share with you guys. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next video.